Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here on my channel, I'm Ann at Martin House Flowers. I'm back in the greenhouse today. I'm going to be leaving to go back to Toronto for about a week, so I thought it was probably a good time to finish off my seed sowing for the month of February. So today I'm going to be growing Salvia, Blue Monday Sage Salvia, and it's an annual, and these grow 2 feet tall, and you sow the seeds 1/16 of an inch below the surface of the soil. I can feel that they're not that tiny, which is great. Salvia prefers full sun, and it thrives in mild humidity and well-drained soil. And it sprouts in about 10 to 30 days, and the ideal temperature will be 60 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So the good thing about this is that, one, I've grown them before. I grew them last year in my raised cut flower beds. And I don't remember if they were cut and come again, but I'm definitely going to plant more. I just tested them last year and maybe had a row or two of these. So I also have another variety from Johnny's, but they're not coming up to be sowed 10 weeks. They're probably to be sowed later on, probably in March. So I'll take a look at those. And the other good thing is that because I'm going to be going away, these will be under grow lights, but under also a humidity dome. So Greg won't have to water these seedlings. I'm also going to grow from Johnny's Candican's Dusty Miller. And these are a tender perennial, but in zones 8 to 10. And because I'm in zone 5B in northern Illinois, they won't be a perennial for me. Now, these plants produce yellow flowers the second year from seeding, primarily in the southern states. But I'm growing this more for the silver foliage that we're all very familiar with. And I remember buying some of these and putting them, I bought them in plants or little plugs, and I put them around my pansies. So do not cover these seeds as they need light to aid germination, and I recommend some vermiculite. So I can tell that these are kind of tiny, and I'll just surface sow them. And then I'm going to grow, for the first time, petunias. I have two kinds of petunias. I have violet wild petunia, and this is a South American native wildflower. Is low growing, heat tolerant, floriferous, and easy to grow, and blooms all summer long. And I remember talking about these in a previous video about February seeds. And it talks about how this was traditionally used as a hallucinogenic. And so you're not to ingest it, and they're not widely studied, but they could be toxic. And these will sprout in 7 to 14 days. Again, I will surface sow these, and they will go under my grow lights, and we'll have a humidity dome, so Greg won't have to worry about those. The second petunias are Super Bisma Cosmic Cherry Petunias, and these are mammoth blooms, and they're bursting with cherry flavor. The flower heads have ruffled edges and reach a whopping 7 inches across. Wow! And a mix of magenta to violet colors. This edible flower has a delicious cherry flavor that can be used in baking and homemade beverages. And these will also be surface sowed, and you're supposed to start these 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost. Pinching young shoots makes for a more compact habit. So these two petunias I will be growing just for my containers. We all buy petunias, you know, the Proven Winners petunias, and I thought I would give it a shot to grow these. Petunias are supposed to be very easy to grow, so I'm giving these a shot, and they are frost hardy. Well, this one is frost hardy, the violet wild petunia, and then the Super Bisma Cosmic is not frost hardy, apparently. On the side of the package of Baker Creek, they have more instructions like how to sow them, whether it's a surface sow, how far apart, 6 to 8 inches apart, and the ideal temperatures. So petunias, as most of us know, are a sun-loving annual. And it's also time to grow Greg's Thai red chili peppers that I talked about, and these take 90 days. So they take quite a while, and it's a good idea to start them now. And You start them indoors in bright light 8 to 12 weeks before last frost date, and a heat mat could help to warm the soil and speed germination. Now, I don't own a heat mat. I'm probably not going to buy one. I did start peppers last year indoors, and they did fine indoors under grow lights, and they're not frost hardy. I did bring in one plant over here, and it's not looking too great because we did turn off the heater, as I previously mentioned. I do turn on the heater when I'm in here, and it's pretty nice and warm in here today because of the sun shining. And the second peppers that I'm growing are Craig's Grande jalapeno peppers. And these are a big fat jalapeno that are perfect for making lots of salsa, which I did try doing last September. And they're also not frost hardy, and you sow them 1/4 inch deep. And I also have some strawberries, which we did have some in our hanging baskets last summer, and I'm going to try my hand at seeds. And these are from Botanical Interests, and you sow them outside 8 to 12 weeks before your average last frost. Recommend for first year fruit 14 to 16 weeks before your last frost date. Optimal soil temperature, germination 60 to 75. So I probably should have started these earlier, but I will definitely start them now. I think they're, oh my gosh, 150 days to maturity. I'm sorry, I'm a little late, but we'll give them a shot. I got these at a local greenhouse, and they were half price, so only the cost of soil there. And then I have some remaining Orange Wonder and some more Snapdragons if I have any more. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more of my Tall Deluxe because these are last year's seeds, and I have a brand new package that I probably shouldn't have bought, and I want to use up some of these because I just did the little 6-packs the other day because I had very limited space, and then I'm going to use up the last of my Black Print Snapdragons. So those 3 if I have some more room, and then I do want to try some more Yarrow, but do the Love Parade because I think I just winter sowed those, and then just in containers that I will leave in the greenhouse because these like the winter sowing. You can put these outside on the snow. I'm just going to put them in containers because I think I have all of my beds are mulched. As you probably know, I'm a big mulcher, so it's too frozen for me to push aside the snow and the mulch to self direct sow these outdoors. I've never really had luck with them doing poppies direct sowing, but I'm going to go ahead and put some of these just in some of these recycled plastic containers, some Papavera poppies, the gray poppy, use that up. And I have another poppy here. And in previous videos, you probably saw that I winter sowed them in milk jugs outdoors, or maybe juice jugs. So those are sitting outside. So I'm going to do those last, and maybe some bee balm. I have a few leftover seeds. I notice I want to try to use up all of my seeds because I find that they really are going to germinate for me best if I use the seeds in the same season that I purchased them. And most of those I did purchase them in 2024, and yes, and so they say to sell them by the end of 2024. So we're in spring 2025. So why not try to use them up? So let's get started. I have my beautiful toque, my winter knitted hat. I want to do a shout out to my friend Cassie in Ontario, Canada. She made this for me as one of my retirement presents. And gosh, it's been almost a year since I retired. So, and I'm also coming up to my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy this seed starting video, the last of our February seed starting. So I do have in my bin here this beautiful ivy that is surviving. I had pulled these 2 plants out of my containers, my large containers that have the obelisk. They were just trailers, my summer trailers on the side of my, what were they? My mandavillas, yes. And so obviously they're long enough for me to turn into a wreath. And I just need to find indoors a wire hanger. And or I guess I could use some floral wire, but I don't think the gauge of my wire is thick enough. So I've just got this here. I don't think I want this container. It's too shallow. I just plop them in here with a little bit of soil. And I do need to find a container that I'm going to put them in, a pot. I don't think I have one big enough right now. I have a couple up there on the shelf, but they're really not big enough. So I'm on the hunt for that. I hope these survive. Maybe I'll bring them inside, but they've been doing okay out here. So they're super hardy, super frost hardy. I didn't think ivy were, but I'm just going to set that down until I have what I need. I see a lot of other soil blocks come with these little plugs that you put in here that create the little indents, but mine didn't. I don't recall that it did. So anyway, I just, because I surface sow a lot of things, or I just put them in like 1/16 of an inch, yeah, it doesn't seem to need it. I like having a nice deep amount of soil, and hopefully you can see there's the excess moisture gets squeezed out. So there's a nice amount. And then I can see any twigs that sort of come out. If it's not level, I just add a little bit more. So these are my 10 by 20 bootstrap, or 10 by 10 bootstrap farmer trays. And I've already used half of them to squeeze in those Snapdragons that I sowed yesterday that I showed you in my previous video. So I've done the multicolor green, blue, orange, and I think I had pink and purple as well. So I have 5 here. And did I mention I bought a 3-foot wide shelving unit and separate set of grow lights? They're arriving tomorrow. I might be able to film us setting that up if you're interested, and telling you about the lights that I picked up separately from Amazon, the grow light lights, and just do one tray with you, and then we'll speed things up. So I could probably squeeze in another row here, but I'm going to just butt them up here for now, and then maybe just use that extra space for watering. It might be a little wet, but I think we're okay. As I mentioned, when you press down without pressing down the lever, you see the excess moisture come out. I can see there's a lot of moisture coming out, so it might be a little wet. So I could add a little more soil. But we'll see how it goes. Those are pretty good. So that's nice. I could do 4, 8, 12, 16, 6, 12, 18. Let's see. Let's just try on this tray doing another row. See if we can squeeze one in. When your soil isn't that tall anymore to just drop in your soil block, I just sort of take a handful and sort of press it in here. This is why I'm wearing a black jacket. My husband says that I love seed starting because it's just like making mud pies. Like when I was a little girl, I'm reliving my childhood, apparently. I don't remember making mud pies. I do remember playing by the railroad tracks, though. So I'm going to leave this little area right here so that I can water in there, which is a perfect spot. So I'm excited that I was able to squeeze in another block. I can do 5 rows of 4 in here, so that's 20 soil blocks, which is perfect. Okay, so off camera, I got quite a few soil blocks done. 5 of these 10 by 10s and one tray, one 10 by 20 tray. And my hands are pretty cold in here now. And I did use these mushroom containers. I'm going to sow some poppies in there, just winter sow them as I did previously, leave them in the greenhouse because they like to be cold stratified. And instead of putting poppies in a paper towel inside a little baggie in the refrigerator for a few weeks, I chose to just winter sow them in the greenhouse. And over there I have, can't see them because they're kind of buried, they're not buried, but they're deep into those tall into that tall raised bed. I have about 14 jugs over there that are covered in snow now. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my seeds, and that'll be it for today. I think I'm going to start off with my petunias. Maybe I'll do one tray there of petunias, another tray here of petunias. Let's see. Might as well lay these out for you. Salvia in there. Dusty Miller. I'll do a tray of Dusty Miller. Some Yarrow. Love Parade in here, so I have some nice filler. So I have 2 trays of fillers. Actually, my salvia is a filler. My peppers, I don't need that many peppers, so I think I'll just do a couple rows. One row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants of peppers each, so 2 rows there. Use up the rest of my Snapdragons from last year, my lion's mouth, my tall deluxe, my orange, this row here, 2 rows of lion's mouth, 2 rows of tall deluxe and orange wonder, or 2 or 3 rows there, and that'll be it. Oh, I just found my strawberries. So actually, let's do a few strawberry plants over here. So I'm going to finish seed sowing today off camera. I think you've seen me do that a few times, and I'm just going to step inside and warm up a little bit. My fingers got a little bit cold. I finished all my soil blocks. I'm pretty happy with everything, and I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I will get a chance to do my book review of Klaus Dalby's container gardening book and cottage gardening. And maybe I'll even be able to film a little bit of my new seed starting unit, my white shelf unit, if we get that done. Obviously we have to get it done before I go because these trays need to go under some grow lights while I'm away. But in any case, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again for being here. Bye-bye.